Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Murr.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, Mr.
Mister,
He gave me his number. Like,
Oh
it wasn't the other way around. He was like, no, you text me. So here we are, best friends. We're probably going to go boating this summer. So
there you go. You could have your pontoon boat full of tight ends.
oh my gosh. Wouldn't be the first time. Waka waka.
Which tight end is your favorite? Tucker?
My wife's.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
If that is not the essence of our show, I don't know what is, Matt Hamilton. Today is a Rutledge and Hamilton throwback of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light, the Mountain Dew Blue. You know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. Molly Brown off today. She's hanging out
with babies.
With babies. She's off today with the babies and Tyson. Tyson's still a baby, too. All due respect to Tyson. So she's around the babies. And we have you for the next 2 hours. And it's going to be a fun show, Mr. Matt Hamilton. But I broke your heart before the show started, and that's where we're going to get going here. And you can chime in on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more. If you want to tell us if you knew this. So I was listening to a podcast today with some reporters, and they were talking about how they weren't going to go to the actual draft in Green Bay. They were not Green Bay-based reporters. It was a Chicago podcast, Chicago-based reporters. They're like, we're going to go to the actual Hallis Hall. Because, like, if you're covering a draft, and I've done this a few times, the most notable draft I covered with the Packers is when they got B.J. Raji and Clay Matthews. And so you're in, like, for the Packers, it's where you see LaFleur, or at that point McCarthy would talk to the media and everything. You kind of sit in that room, and then when the draft is, you hang out there and you talk to the other reporters. You wait for the coaches to come out, GM to come out, and then you get some audio from them. And then they usually set up a conference call with the athlete, and then you can get a chance to talk with them, ask a few questions. So it is a good time. And so it's the best way, if you're a reporter, to try to keep track of everything. Because 9 times out of 10, the player that is picked by your team is not at the draft. But then they shared this information, and I guess it blew my mind. It makes sense, because we all think of the movie Draft Day, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
And you got, side note on Draft Day, that movie was so close to being like an elite sports movie. It's fun. Like, I enjoy it. I watch it every year.
What kept it from being an elite sports movie?
The actual transactions that happened with the draft. Like even the first, like on the actual, in the draft. Because the trade leading up to getting kind of bullied into trading more than you wanted to, the owner being involved, all that made a ton of sense. But then when you're getting into how convoluted the trade is, where he then, and also taking, you would have just traded back. That's not much of a story, but like if you trade it for number one and all of a sudden you don't want that quarterback, I think Bo Callahan from Wisconsin, you would trade back. Like you wouldn't have just taken the quarterback, or no, taken the guy who had a lower grade, like 7 spots lower. When everyone wants the quarterback, you just would have taken the quarterback. I mean, you just would have traded back.
Traded back and got more value from it instead of reaching.
Right. And so I get it's a movie that has to have all the aspects to it, but it's too much going on at the end. Because it was right there. It's so good until they don't trade back and they take Vontae Mack, and it's like, you wouldn't do that. You just wouldn't. Like, then it just goes off the rails. But all the way to there, I still enjoy the movie. But up until there, it was like an elite sports movie.
So you're saying it's like, it'd be like the Giants, like, we don't really want to take Cam Ward. We'll just take Ashton Genty then.
Right.
Instead of like trading back to like Oakland spot or someone further back and be like, you guys give us some value for it. Yeah, I guess, I mean, that's fair, but it's a movie. It's a movie. You're right.
Right. But I enjoyed the movie, but it could have been like up there with one of the like Hoosiers and like the truly great sports movies where
it's like it's the only draft movie?
Yeah, right.
Like, I can't think of another one. So, like,
Jerry Maguire, is there anything draft related in that movie?
Yeah. It starts with the draft. That's how he loses, or does it end? Yeah,
I think it starts with. Doesn't it start with the guy who breaks his leg and he tells the kid your dad's gonna make a bunch of money, and then he tells him bleep off?
He only has the one. He has the big client Rod Tidwell, and it's funny you mentioned Jerry Maguire because when they talk about Bo Callahan in the movie Draft Day, I always put Jerry O'Connell's face on him before I see him for the first time because I think of. I forget the quarterback who Jerry O'Connell plays in Jerry Maguire, but like that was supposed to be his client, and he gets swooped out from underneath them. But that was maybe it's early in the movie, but it's not to start the movie. That was like his last big client besides Rod Tidwell, and then he got.
That would be Frank Cushman.
Yeah, then
the iconic Frank Cushman.
Yes. So those are probably the only two that I can think of. 844-770-3776. You can chime in with any other NFL draft movies that you can think about. Carl was talking text line list is more. So, but I learned is that, so in draft day, you see them, they call to the draft, and someone at the draft picks up the phone, and then they make their way over to the league, and they give them a card, and then the commissioner comes up. And my understanding is that basically after COVID, like, because during COVID, obviously none of that happened. You didn't have, everything was virtual, so everything was basically done from the team to the league office via phone call or things like that. Like, and since then, that's how the actual operations run for the draft, and it's really a draft show where the actual NFL draft is. So in Green Bay, there's not a phone call. It's not like Goody's going to walk down.
So like they're not in a war room,
right,
discussing it, and then like having to pick up the phone and call.
They do, but they tell the league office. They don't call to Green Bay and have someone there, and it's all done league office wise. It's not happening at the draft. The draft is just the show. The best comp I can have for it is that when you get married, most of the time they tell you like, hey, you get your marriage license at a time. Little ESPN Madison trivia. Greg Scalzo was the officiant of my wedding with my wife. So Greg Scalzo signed our wedding.
People like me.
Our wedding license, and then my wife and I signed it. But we did that before the actual ceremony. So we were married then, legally. And then you had the ceremony for everyone else, including us, and that was the reason why everyone's there. The NFL draft is essentially the wedding ceremony, but they're already married a couple minutes before it happens.
I don't like that.
Why does it? Honestly, I just found it interesting. It doesn't bother me.
I just want it to be like draft day.
It is. It's just not happening in Green Bay. Or any. I mean, it didn't happen in Detroit. Like, that's all.
Yeah, that kind of loses some of the magic for me.
I'll be. I don't hate that take. I just. I was blown away. I called Ryan, and Ryan, what was your reaction when I called you on it? Because I was like, he would be the one to know. Because maybe I just missed this overtime.
I kind of was like,
what?
Huh? I was like, oh, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then did you Google, I thought you looked something up or something.
I tried to look it up. Google AI gave me somewhat of a summary, but it was mostly the idea of, like you said, after COVID, they kind of streamlined everything, made it all not in person anymore. It's pretty much all done just through phone calls, like you said, through the league office. So yeah, none of the actual draft operations run out
some
of
of these other
location.
Teams though might be in their war rooms at their stadium or their front
that's offices. Where they all are.
They're doing it. They're still doing the same kind of thing. They're just not all coming to Green Bay and doing it.
Yeah, again, it's
okay. I guess not all the magic's gone then. That's still fun.
Again, it's similar to the wedding ceremony. Like you sign it, but the actual wedding, that's the payoff, even though you're technically married beforehand.
Right. Okay. And you think that they delay bringing the pick in at all for the show? If a team comes in immediately,
as a group, as the show, as our fans and everyone, let's watch it this year. Let's see how often it runs to that 10-minute run. That window where I think it's 10 minutes for the first pick. If it's consistently running, if you know who you want, it's done.
For sure.
If the Titans pick gets to 8 minutes in and they start firing it up, all right, we know.
It's what were they sitting with their hands on their ears and their eyes closed, saying la 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 until the pick was in, and they're like, okay, we have 10 minutes to come up with a plan now.
Yeah. So a lot of those, I think that if they're all pushing 10 minutes, that's a little bit for show. And it also goes to why reporters know it ahead of time, because league office or someone's usually I would imagine agents tip them off.
Oh, right.
So that to me, that's all fascinating how all that can work, but. It was just a little bit of insight that I found interesting here. So You can chime in on that 844-770-3776. Hopefully I didn't ruin your childhood there. But if you're old like I am, your childhood was real. All that stuff was happening. It just doesn't happen like it used to. You can chime in on the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. Field Yates joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy earlier today. We have Jason Wilde coming up, who's our Field Yates. He'll be joining the show in the third segment of the show. But I wanted to play back some of the audio from Field Yates. But before we do that, I want to get to now that Molly's not on the show today, I feel like we can safely play some Kay Adams audio. And I don't want to trigger or upset her. But I believe Jordan Love was a little bit confused about maybe what exactly was going on with Jaire Alexander, but he is definitely someone that would want Jaire Alexander in Green Bay.
Defensively, what's going on with Jaire? When's the last time you talked to that madman?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. I need to reach out to Ja, see what the deal is. But Ja, he's got his own world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But that's my guy right there. He's definitely a player we need back. Just the play style he plays with and who he is on the field. I mean, that's a guy we need to have around. So we'll see what happens.
I don't have a problem with what I said there, except for that's my guy. That's clearly not your guy. If you're like, oh, I haven't talked to him since the end of the season, like you can say I like the way he plays, like, but that's not your guy.
I mean, everyone on your team's your guy, Jim.
But like, come on, that's not your guy.
No, everyone on the team is your guy if you're the quarterback of that football team.
You just didn't have to say it. He could have said everything else and not said my guy.
I think you're getting caught up in the semantics. It doesn't matter if Jordan Love likes him.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't like him. I'm just saying that they are just coworkers. You wouldn't say that's my guy. There's people in this office that I would not say that's my person. That's my guy. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like,
people like me.
We're coworkers. Ryan's my guy.
Jim's
Matt's
really
my
hung
guy.
up on labels.
Look, he wants to know, is this a serious relationship?
I'm in a serious relationship.
Or just a friendly relationship?
But you get what I'm saying.
A working
relationship.
Is it working relationship?
Yeah, he's probably... but again, it's part of the thing. Like, it sounds worse if he's like, oh yeah, he's my teammate.
No, he doesn't say anything. Like what? I'm caught. I'm stuck on this. If we can just get to that part where he talks about the my guy thing, because he doesn't. He just. It's honestly just a verbal tick.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to say anything.
But it sounds. I think it's better that he said it than not saying it at all.
Also, Jordan's just like a terrible interview. Like he's just, like this is a bunch of
it's a little
nothing.
Stiff, yeah.
Yeah, and so then he has the verbal tick. So when we have that ready, he literally could have just honestly, Ryan, you could cut it out, and I don't think we even noticed where it would have been.
I would. I'd be like, I feel like somebody should be called their guy in this point in this interview.
All right,
that's my guy right there.
And then if you play before, like you could have just said, what happens right afterwards, or cut it out. Let's see what happens.
You want what happened afterwards or
no,
before?
Honestly, can you just cut it out real quick and play it? And I want to see if we notice.
That's my guy.
Yeah, that's my guy right there. Like that little bit that you played for us.
That's my guy right there.
Take that out, and I want to play the clip without it. I think it can exist without.
I mean, it can. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Just go a little bit before it and let it play.
I'm just saying, I just like it.
Whole world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But he's definitely a player we need back. Just the play style he
so
plays,
much better.
Who he is on the field. I mean, that's a guy.
He says we definitely need him back. Love his play style.
But I don't think I don't know if it's better.
Oh, it's better.
He's trying to show that we are teammates. Like.
It's a verbal tick. He's not trying to show. It's a verbal tick. I'll give you it's a verbal tick. He's not trying to show nothing. He just was trying to. It's just a filler. Because he says afterwards. He's just trying to think of something to say, and he comes up with the right answer, but it did not need to be said. Nor do I need to nitpick it, but it's not his guy.
All right, option one.
Whole world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But that's my guy right there.
Or option two.
Whole world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But he's definitely a player we need back. Just the play style he plays.
Option two.
Option one for sure.
Matt Hamilton is blind. He's got his green and gold blinders on. Jim Rutledge.
Yeah, get out of here.
He needs to go see an optometrist. Option one. Option two.
It takes me out immediately when he says it's my guy, but I haven't talked
to me about like our show.
But he says,
and I say like, and they say like, well, what do you think about like the production of your show? And I end up saying some stuff, and I'm like, oh, that Ryan Wollersheim, that's my guy.
But he is your guy. Because the reason why he's not his guy, Matt, is we're going to dive into this. He said earlier, I haven't talked to him since the end of the season. If you don't talk to Ryan since the end of the season, or, like if you're gone for a month and you don't talk to Ryan, he can't be your guy. It's not a big deal. It's just a verbal tick.
Defensively, what's going on with Jaire? When's the last time you talked to that madman?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
That's a great question. That is
whatever
tough.
I'm not sure. Maybe they talk so much that he's just unsure of what happened.
They text every day?
Yeah.
Whatever the hell he went on IR.
Yeah, maybe they are friends on Instant Messenger or something.
I wish we could ask the poll. I want to ask a poll
Snapchat.
question.
It's Snapchat. That's why they disappear. He
Yeah,
doesn't know
they're
where
probably be real together.
Exactly.
I want to ask a poll question because I can't contextualize it for Twitter, but I want to ask just for our listeners, 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. List is more. Has Jordan Love spoken to Jaire Alexander since Jaire Alexander went on IR?
Since he went on IR? Yes, 100%. They're on the sideline
That's
together.
a ridiculous
Well, no,
question.
because I would assume he went home. Like, was he
Jaire
there?
was on the sidelines.
Okay.
For he was
since the end of the season then.
Since the end of the season. Okay.
Yes.
Jim Rutledge wants to know.
Yeah.
Do you think?
But if you put it on Twitter, it doesn't have any context to it.
No. Other than Jim Rutledge wants to know.
Yeah. 8-4. We could ask Wilde, who's coming up a little bit later. No. There's been no contact. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Jaire probably won't be on the team. He's a defensive player. I think when they show up, they have a professional relationship. I'm not saying that Jordan's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that you just didn't need to say it's my guy. Like
a professional.
Like it's just.
I think it's good. It makes for a better interview to say that's my guy.
It doesn't, because he just filled.
I mean, it's obvious.
I've been saying George Kittle's my guy, and I talked to him twice.
But you've talked to George Kittle more in the last 6 months than Jordan Love's talked to Jaire Alexander.
Yeah, but probably not in total over our lives.
Well, yeah, but whatever. Like right now, he is closer to your guy than Jaire Alexander and Jordan Love.
We're just loving labels right now. Y'all are my guys.
But also,
I love this.
You are my guy. That's truth. Like, also, if you can't see just from the reason why it stood out to me also, full disclosure, is that I had to edit audio all the time. When I first got into this business, I would have edited that out for because you want to keep audio clips in general, 10, 15 seconds the longest. That would have been cut out.
Because you're welcome for keeping it in. So that now you have
I'm
content.
not saying you needed to. That's not how we do it anymore. When I used to have to cut them, it was for sports centers, green and gold fixes, jump around, things like that. So that's just fluff. So I have an ear for fluff. That's verbal fluff.
Jim hates fluff.
It's just verbal. I just threw it out there, and that's fine. Again, I don't think there's anything bad between Jordan Love and Jaire Alexander. It's just me as someone who used to cut audio / listens to interviews all the time. Jordan Love could really use an interview coach. He could be making himself more money if he was better and more engaging and more personable in these things.
Yeah.
Why he shot that video with, it's not a surprise. It's not like Kay Adams, because if you see the video online, it's not like she didn't just FaceTime him, but he's doing it in his car. Couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jim, I've had team meetings with you where you did it from your car.
Are we broadcasting on the platform like Kay Adams?
We were on a Teams call, company-wide, I believe, once.
Good. You know how I feel about Teams calls internally. You're lucky my camera was on. So
true.
But in general, if I was on ESPN National or the Kay Adams show, I'm sitting in the Everlight Solar studio or something. Jordan's probably got some beautiful view somewhere he could show off.
Nope. Here's my sunroof.
So again, doesn't have any effect on Jordan Love as a player, as a leader, any of those things. And I think him and Jaire Alexander are just fine.
Maybe Jaire comes back because he knows the quarterback and him are guys?
Or is it the other way? My God, I don't even have his number. Who's this?
Maybe.
844-770-3776. That's Carl talking text line. Shout out to TJ from the road. Wicked hailstorm in Evansville this AM, Jim. Hopefully Oregon was spared. Hopefully you were spared, TJ, if you were in Evansville. So it was golf ball size hail down there.
Right.
I saw that some people got dented cars. I think some windows were broken in on some of the cars, with the actual hail coming through.
Right.
It's kind of nasty down there. So this morning, so it's funny he brings it up, I haven't experienced hail in a while, and I didn't think hail was coming. So I had grand aspirations to go play basketball this morning. But I got to bed a little bit later. My general rule, if I'm going to get up at 5 a.m., is that, if I'm up in the night, it's out. If I wake up and it's 4:50, it's 3:45, I'm not going back to sleep and getting up at 5.
Right.
I have to sleep straight through to 5. It's not that important. I'm not in the NBA here. So, like, that's my general rule. So I was up already. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to get up. But my truck was outside. So when all of a sudden I heard this, like, initially I'm like, is it just raining really hard? My wife's like, I think that's hail. So then I had to bust my butt downstairs and get my truck from Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb, only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simon Chevy at Mount Horeb. And, like, look, I love the great better buying experience I had at Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb, but I didn't want to have to go through another one with a hail-dented truck.
Yeah.
So I got the truck inside. Knock on wood, I haven't seen any hail damage. It was more like ping pong ball or marble size hail in Oregon, but I got it inside right away anyways because it was loud. It felt like the hail was the size of baseballs when it hits your house, like when you're upstairs sleeping too. So I got out there. I got pelted a few times. That stuff hurts.
Yeah. I slept right through it, and my car was outside, so I didn't take a good look, but I'm sure I got
You have
some.
enough trees, and I had some trees to block some of it too, so I think I would have been okay, but I was like, I'm just going to get it in because the girls were up and everything. But then they had the fun part of they went outside. And they had never really seen hail before, I guess.
Play with it or
yeah,
grab
well, they filled it up with, I'm like, go outside and fill a cup with hail. They're like, what? We can do that? I'm like, yeah. They went out there and filled it up and showed it to my wife. Little kids, everything is cool. So, like, they had a fun little morning with the hail. Hopefully, nobody had any major damage. We'll get back to this Siding Limited poll question. What did you end up posting then?
Oh, I have to go back and find it. Jim Rutledge wants to know, do you think that Jordan Love has talked to Jaire Alexander since the end of the season? Yes, that's, quote, his guy, or no, they don't talk.
All right, did you at least quote tweet the Kay Adams video?
Well, that's not a poll. You can't do that with poll questions on Twitter. You said you want to know context.
All right. No, I wanted context.
Early returns are
give
100% yes, that's his guy.
You voted for him. All right, this is Jim, Matt, and I, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
This Saturday at 9 a.m., join Hunter Vaughn and the Dean, Dennis Semrau, as they head to the track and look at the top athletes from around the area. Plus, they're joined by the head track and field coach of Sun Prairie East, Doug Moan, as well as future Badger and defending 400-meter champion Nicole Repka of Verona. Again, join Hunter Vaughn and the Dean this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you. Professional volleyball's historic first season from here in Madison is now complete, and Love Madison volleyball fans made it amazing. With some of the best players in the world, Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever, this was volleyball at its highest level. And the best part, this is just the beginning. The energy, the talent, the community, it's all coming back even bigger next season. Volleyball is the next major league, and Madison is right at the heart of it. The excitement is just getting started. Stay connected with Love Madison Volleyball and be part of the action as the team continues to rise to new heights. Follow LOVB Madison on social media and stay up to date online for all the latest news, exciting announcements, and more from League One. Plus, show the love yourself with official team merchandise and show support for the next big thing in professional sports. Volleyball is the next major league.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Whole world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But that's my guy right there. He's definitely a player we need back. Just the play style he plays with and who he is on the field. I mean, that's a guy we need.
It is Phish Friday here on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. We're live in the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Lorshan behind the glass. We got a little bit derailed, but that's fine. We got people chiming in on the Carbos Talking text line. List is more, 844-770-3776. We had Chris from Manitowish Waters chimes in. Teams probably use the full 10 minutes of the first round to get free publicity for all the networks coming to the NFL draft. That was referencing our revealing the news that the actual NFL draft operations don't happen in Green Bay or wherever the draft is. It happens now directly from the team to the league office. Also, TJ from the road chimes in. Jordan, probably gave him the obligatory seeing training camp, and that was it sort of conversation that they have together. And I don't want to even fault them if that's the case. And then Brandon in Tulsa chimes in. I don't think Jordan knows how to interview, and he just says the most politically correct thing he can think of. I hope Jordan matures into his own voice one day.
That's my guy right there.
It is one of those things and it doesn't matter a ton, but it's easier to see. Like when you watch Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and look, they're successful too, but even Lamar Jackson, when they talk, and you see this with coaches too, like for an example, like I'm a big press conference guy. Like Matt Eberflus, his press conference was so sad and pathetic. I was already like, we're screwed. We're cooked. Like, like it doesn't always work. Like Luke Fickell, I like him in press conferences. I think he brings some fire. I like it. But like when you're a fan and you hear your quarterback sound like peanut butter and toast, you're like, okay. I mean, he's playing well, and I'm sure the team likes him, but it's just, you'd like to have the extra aspect of from a player. Like Aaron had it at times, even with his sauciness.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it matters at all on the
field.
It,
but like, we have a head coach that's white toast. So like, I'm totally fine with the quarterback being white toast too.
Well, it's not surprising.
He's never gonna say anything like, I don't want a Johnny Manziel.
No,
quarterback,
no, it's
right?
okay, but Patrick Mahomes, like, they don't give you it, but they're engaged. Like, when they talk, you're like, I'm listening. There's a cadence to their voice. There's, like, a juice to them.
Right.
And, again, this has zero effect on Jordan Love as a football player.
It's
He clearly is a good football player.
Two evils. Like, if you're going to go too far in one direction, whether having, like, zero personality or too much, like, I'll take the zero personality.
But in a perfect world, you'd love the...
Yeah, somewhere in the middle is great.
Yeah. Like, maybe he gets there. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't think Jared Goff or Sam Darnold are remarkably interesting.
If you're on the toaster, is he like a 5? Is he a 6? Where's he at on the dial there?
He's a 5.
It's a 5, right in the middle?
I guess it depends.
What does your toaster go to? Like, what are the numbers?
I'm going to assume 10.
It's 10?
I don't know.
Mine's on a scale of 7.
Okay, we'll go 7 then. All right. I don't know. I never look. I like my toast darker. Okay. I like a little crisp toast. So, like, I want my quarterback to have some edge to it. I want the crisper. Like I want the if it's to a 7, I want my quarterback in that 5.5, 6 to a 7.
Oh,
I like that. I want to.
You might have that in Caleb Williams.
Like I agree. Justin Fields was boring as hell. Mm-hmm. Like fun to watch play football.
That's probably why him and Jordan Love were such good buddies.
Probably. But like, they just sit around and be boring together. But like Jordan, Mitch Trubisky, boring. Jay Cutler, interesting.
for better or for worse.
But
he was interesting.
But he wasn't a bad quarterback. He just wasn't as good as he should have been with his talent. But like you look around the league, like I don't know who the hell Sam Darnold is or Jared Goff. So I'm not saying it's a detriment to Jordan Love. I just don't find him on that scale. I'd say he's like a 3, which is not how I like my toast or my quarterbacks.
Yeah, 3 or 2. I mean, they're weak interviews. Every one of them. Jordan Love does not say anything with any substance in the media.
And here's the thing, but it's also lacking the personality. Bo Ryan would give you nothing ever, but he'd tell you some like cockamamie story that had nothing to do with anything about Chester, PA, and you walked away from the press conference. You might look at your notes and listen back like, I got nothing here, but I was entertained.
Yeah.
So he did a good job of just giving you garbage, but it was sweet-smelling garbage, and you just were entertained. So it's like he's delivering nothing, and he's delivering nothing with no spice. It's just literally like you get no fixins, you get nothing. You get a boiled piece of chicken is like your interviews with Jordan. It's protein.
It's sustenance. It'll keep you alive. But are you going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
No.
Which is, again, it's fine. I'm sure who's a boring quarterback who's good? Jordan Love, besides Jordan Love.
Besides Jordan Love.
I mean, is Patrick Mahomes that entertaining?
But he has there's his voice, there's just a little bit of juice behind it. I'm not saying he's like something great.
I mean, Drew Brees was kind of boring.
Tom Brady was not very entertaining at all.
He's still not entertaining.
Yeah,
so
fair.
That's not a bad one. He tried, though.
Russell Wilson?
Yes. There you go.
No, but he tries.
He tries hard.
To be something he's not, I feel like.
Yeah, that's worse.
I'd
rather have Jordan Love than
Jordan Love
Russell
is
Wilson.
fully genuine. He's just
genuinely
boring.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Savage.
I like that.
Again, it's not a detriment, but
it's one thing. It's very nice coming to this radio show, and after having the tail end years of Rodgers and his craziness, I don't have to worry about coming into the studio and having someone say, "Did you hear what Jordan Love said?"
But we did it last year because he didn't have any agency over himself. He let that random handler handle a situation horribly.
Right, that was the only time where it was something surprising, and he was fine.
But it also just showed how weirdly timid he is. Why are you letting this random handler at a camp handle the media right now?
Yeah,
just step up, Jordan. It's fine. We're going to talk to Jason Wilde about that next. If you missed any of today's show, or you want to find any of your favorite shows, go to the ESPN Wisconsin app. It is fantastic. You will enjoy it. So if you had Wisconsin on the Man, it should just automatically update it in your phone. But if you didn't like Wisconsin on the Man, I don't blame you. It was good. But ESPN Wisconsin app, legit. So go to the App Store, Android, Apple Market, and get the ESPN Wisconsin app. And make sure, because you can customize it, put Jim, Matt, and Molly #1. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spins Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jason, quick question.
You are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly. Because my point, well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Am I not allowed to know the word filibustering?
I just didn't see that coming, that's all.
Well, good, I want to keep you on your toes.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Oh, snap! What's up with that? What's up with that?
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. No Molly Brown today. She's out with babies, so she's home with her twins and Tyson. So you got a little Rutledge and Hamilton today. Thrilled to be joined by Jason Wilde as well. And you can see him on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Primetime Laura Shine Behind the Glass. Jason, how you doing on this wonderful Good Friday?
It is a Good Friday.
Yeah.
He is risen indeed. Well, wait, no, that's not till Sunday. Hey, what do you guys think of Ryan Wollersheim?
Yeah, he's all right. He's not my guy.
Clearly not his guy.
Did you clue Jason in on what we're going to do right now? Because Jason's great on having a little bit of fun with us. So, did you clue Jason in or not?
I did not tell Jason about the
another failure on his part. Perfect.
Failure.
I honestly
failure.
Look, whatever you guys have planned is I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
But I like Ryan Wollersheim. I think he's made of the right stuff.
With all due respect,
I think he's the right kind of guy. He's a great teammate. I think he's smart. But he goes from this extreme where he texts me during Wilde and Tausch to see if I'm good for being on the show. To now, I get a text 3 minutes before I'm supposed to be on. Hey, can you be on video or just on the phone today? Now it's just a presumption that I'm going to do this video thing all the time. What is
you're a handsome fellow. We want to see on video.
Come on.
Yeah, you go to one content call, and the next thing you know, he's telling you to be on video all the time. It's fine. Whatever.
Hey, I'm not the one telling you to be on video, Jason. Come on, we all know.
That's true. You have no power around here.
All right, that was a Jesse Nelson call.
What wacky hijinks do you two knuckleheads have planned?
It's not even that wacky. So it was just funny you asked if we liked Ryan because there was Jordan Love joined Kay Adams a couple days ago, and it was full disclosure on this. For me, as someone who had to gather audio and cut audio, there was a part where Jordan Love said something where he kind of just threw in that Jaire Alexander, like, that's my guy, and it just didn't feel genuine. And immediately, I'm like, I would have cut that out because it's not true and it adds nothing to the clip. So I want to play both clips for you, and then I want you to figure out, do you think they're actually guys? Because the way Jordan sets it up,
I can tell you the answer to this already.
The way Jordan sets it up, if I haven't, I don't know what Jaire's up to. So let's play it, and then I want to know which cut you think is better. So let's first play it.
Whole world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But that's my guy right there. He's definitely a player we need back. Just the play style he plays with and who he is on the field. I mean, that's a guy we need.
So full context, the full clip, he says, I can't remember the last time I've spoken to him. And then he says, that's my guy.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm sorry. If I can't remember the last time I've spoken to someone, I'm not going to call him my guy.
You're burying it, though. You're trying to obviously lead Jason in a certain direction.
He doesn't need to.
Let's listen to the second clip.
Whole world going on. I'm going to let him handle his business and see what's going on. But he's definitely a player we need.
Okay, we stop
back.
right there.
Just
Like, that's where
the play style he plays with and who he is on the field.
Jordan needs some media training because he just threw in "that's my guy" as a filler because he couldn't think of what to say next. And it's also a little monotone. I don't love the fact that, like, it's not like Kay Adams surprised Jordan like Ryan surprised you, Jason. Like, can you be somewhere not in your car? Like, I don't. The whole thing was kind of just strange to me.
In fairness, I mean, maybe he was surprised when she said, "What's up with that madman?" or whatever the hell the question was.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like, again, and look, I know Kay a little bit. I know Matt Schneidman has a really good relationship with her. I don't know her that well. I think she does a really good job. I thought she was great on Good Morning Football. So that, there's a vibe to her FanDuel show that I get it. It's more laid back. I was a little, what's up with that madman? Made me think of Molly Brown and what's up with that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Molly Brown's husband's favorite radio host is Kay Adams, so maybe she's trying to mimic that a little bit now.
Well, it's better than Paula, who just doesn't have one at all, but it's definitely not me. But so what I thought was weird, and first of all, I come from the newspaper background of whether he means it or not, I'm not editing out that sentence because he did say it. And quite frankly, he tells on himself with the lead-in of, I don't know the last time I talked to him. It's been a while, or whatever he said there.
Right.
So, but here's the thing. Like, I love the fact that he said something that is supportive of a teammate, right? That's great. And it's at the other end of the unsolicited advice from a player given to the general manager of Josh Jacobs, who basically, if we translate what he said, none of our wide receivers are good enough. We need a number one wide receiver. Right?
Yeah.
You read the tea leaves well there, yeah.
Which, by the way, he clearly meant Devontae Adams. He played with Adams in Vegas. And look, I still think Goody was wrong to have gone the direction he did. That's my opinion. But the bottom line of all this, whether you're saying we need to keep Jaire because he's my guy, or you're saying we need a number one wide receiver because my guys aren't good enough yet and may never be, the fact of the matter is that Goody doesn't give a damn what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. And look, people are going to hear me say that, or Woolie's going to cut it for social media, and then I got to deal with all the people that come after me on there. But the bottom line is he doesn't have to care what they think.
Right.
So you don't think if Jordan Love marched into Goody's office and was like, hey, I think we need Jaire on this team as a locker room presence, as a teammate, as a guy on defense, like we need this. You don't think Goody's at least taking a second thought about it?
No.
Okay.
This ain't Team Schuster where Matt Hamilton comes in and says, hey, I think we need to do this. This is not a democracy. Like, and again, I don't want this to come off as me criticizing Goody and saying this is the wrong way to go about his job. Now, look, if I was the general manager of the Green Bay Packers, first of all, they would have the oldest roster in the league every single year. Julius Peppers would not be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He'd be at defensive end still, right? I mean, Charles Woodson, who I think is 46, would still be roaming the secondary, and Jordy Nelson would be Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. And we'd win about 4 games, but at least all my guys would be there. Well, look, so I understand that. At the same time, I personally believe in collaboration. I do. And I think you can be collaborative without giving into the players and saying, like, I don't want Aaron Rodgers deciding everything that my team does if I'm the general manager. We saw how things went in New York, right? At the same time, I want his expertise. I want his input, but I'm going to be firm with him and say, look, man, sometimes I'm going to do the same thing that you're thinking we should do, and sometimes I'm not. And if we can't work through that kind of thing, then we're going to go back to the don't tell me what you think because I don't care policy, right? And and what bothered me about the way things played out after Rodgers made those comments and then came back for 2 more seasons was the phoniness of Goody's really changing his approach. I remember talking to Rodgers at his locker and comparing Goody to Brad Pitt's character in Moneyball, where he sends Jonah Hill on the road trip because he can't get close to the players. And Rodgers was great. I mean, it turns out he's friends with the guy who played Pena, the first baseman that was better than Scotty Hatteberg.
Yep.
And so he tells this great story. It's a really good story for the State Journal, which I'll have to copy and paste and put on to Channel 3000 at some point so people can read it. But what was great about it was that, like, he's like, hey, he has talked to me more. He seems to be more interested. But it was all kind of phony, right? And so that doesn't help anybody either. Like, it doesn't pay to pretend like you care. I would say that's worse. At least be honest with me. Hey, Jordan, I know you like Jaire, but I don't really care what you think. But, hey, let's work on our accuracy this offseason. Like, if that's how he wants to go about it, great.
Hey, Wilde, when was the last time you talked to Peppers, Woodson, or Jordy?
Woodson, I texted with last week. Devontae Adams, I used Peppers because he's old and in the Hall of Fame. Like, he and I weren't that tight.
But you called him your guy. So you're saying you used it in the same context that Jordan used it?
No,
or
I was using that.
Your guy?
I was using that in the context of if I was putting together a roster, I'd have a bunch of guys that are already in the Hall of Fame still on the team.
I'm just making a point that you can say it's your guy if you're an acquaintance.
I don't use my guy. Like, I might
Jason
be.
doesn't. Yeah.
Are we guys, Jason?
So I could.
Not anymore.
When's the last time you texted me to check in, buddy?
That's a good point. Probably a couple weeks ago.
So I have, in the last 3 weeks, texted Woodson. This is going to sound like a dumb humble brag now.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Adams. And yesterday, after he got off of McAfee, I texted Rodgers. And
Did you respond?
We went back and forth a little bit. Yep.
That's awesome. Gosh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for Caleb Williams to give me his number, though, because I want to let him know how I'm rooting for him to create that whole rivalry. So I got to talk to my guys in Chicago.
Actually, so I wanted to.
My guys in Chicago.
Well, he's talking about his guys at ESPN Chicago.
Yeah.
I know.
His guys.
I'm just loving the my guy chat
Why are you
right now.
so defensive over? Like, Jordan loves a bad interview. It's fine. It doesn't make him a bad quarterback. It's fine. Like, he's not. He doesn't come across as interesting, and he doesn't come across as like overly interested in doing it / prepared for it. But that's fine. But on the he's not being asked to be in GQ and Esquire like Caleb Williams. But Caleb Williams is getting dragged on unsportsmanlike by Chris Canty for being a celebrity QB. So, Jason, as a reporter, I think you obviously would lean towards having the guy who can give out long, thoughtful answers. But in general, how much does a personality matter, like in a coach? And it doesn't have to be in front of the mic, just on or off the field. Like when you're talking with them, like when you're figuring out like if they're going to make it or not, like how much of that factors in, and probably more off the mic than on, into you figuring out like this guy, I could see how he could be a great coach or how he could be a leader as a QB. How much does that factor in when you're talking to guys?
Yeah, I think it factors in a lot. And look, in all seriousness about Jordan, like, so his fiance came and talked to Sid's volleyball team, not this past season, but the season before, and she is like personality times like 1,000. Like, I would. And her joke after we got done, and she and I and Sid and some of the coaches were talking after she got done talking to the kids, and I teased her. I said, "Hey, can you coach up your boy?" just a little bit because she gives him the same amount of grief as we're giving him now, except she's going to marry him. But like it's the same. Like, hey, loosen up a little bit, and the reason why I think Ronica's opinion on that is germane to our conversation is that he can be engaging, and I don't think he's necessarily intentionally not being engaging. I just don't think, like, he and I have really good conversations. Like, when I'm not interviewing him, and then there's been times where I've interviewed him, and there's been a light bulb that's gone off, and he's been really good. But, yeah, he's just not into it. Like, it's not important to him. And I get it. I shouldn't be that important to him. But what I would say is that it's so important that you're engaging with your guys. And I am not your guy. Jaire Alexander and Dontavion Wicks, those are your guys, and those are the guys you need to connect with. And from everything I can gather, he's really good at connecting with them that way. You know, is he capable, and he and I have talked about this, is he capable of chewing a guy's ass out if that's what the guy really needs? Because he and I have talked about it. I used to talk about this with Rodgers. Favre, not so much, because he was too busy, like, dropping stink bombs in the locker room or yelling at me for what I wrote. But, like, the best leaders know what each guy needs, right? And in Rodgers' case, sometimes I think his frustration bubbled over with guys that didn't need to be yelled at or motioned at. Oh, my God, what are you doing? Since I'm on video, I feel compelled to do that. And Jordan doesn't do any of that. But sometimes a guy needs a really hard conversation, like, get your blank together, man. And that's the one aspect of his leadership that I don't know, and I've never been led by him. But I know Aaron Rodgers, if he had a guy that needed to get chewed out, he would chew him out. If he had a guy like Lucas Patrick who was downtrodden, they had pancakes together, right? Yeah. And they talked through it, and he helped Lucas Patrick turn things around. So there's value in all of it. But to me, Jordan Love, in that interview specifically, like, I wonder if he realized what he was saying was going to be headline material, because that's all I've gotten now from a lot of fans, and they're all assuming that we're trying to run the guy out of town, which we're totally not.
No.
But, like, the reality is that I think Goody's mind is made up. And again, the last thing, and I know I'm rambling, so I'll stop, but the last thing is, and I keep going back to this is going to be year 30 for me, and I'm not doing that to brag. I'm saying that's how rare what I'm about to say is. I have never heard a general manager say, well, if he's not going to be on our team and helping us win games, then I want to get something for him because we've invested a lot in Jaire. General managers never say that. They say, well, he's on our team right now, and that's the end of it. Mm-hmm. They never, they love to say, well, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to get into it. If he's not on our team, it's a hypothetical because he's on your team right now. So I don't want you to ever go and give another hypothetical again, Goody. You have to be able to answer every hypothetical question I ask, because you brought up the hypothetical of him not being on the team.
Showed all of his cards there, too.
Oh, he doesn't want him back. Like let's be honest.
You wouldn't say it if you wanted him back. You'd say he's just on your team and end it there.
Right. Could he be back on your team? Possibly. I mean, that's the other thing he said.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely, he possibly could.
Yeah,
anything is possible.
I don't know,
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Anything.
He's my guy.
Jason, that's thanks for playing along with us.
Yeah.
I figured one, like, every once in a while we can do a little, not quite journalism, but it was one of those things where it caught my ear immediately.
Yeah,
and then
Matt
got weirdly defensive about it. Again, Jordan Love's a good football player. Not all good quarterbacks are interesting or engaging to hear talk. There are boring ones. But I also just found it fascinating that Jordan does seem to have any interest in being interesting in big interview settings.
Matt, you're still my guy.
That's my guy right there.
Thanks, Jason. Enjoy your. Thanks for hopping on the camera with us. Enjoy your Friday.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right, that's Jason Wilde. For over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they're your one-stop shop for all things security, from cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock on your front door. They've got you covered with a network of top-tier suppliers. They create customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is their top priority, and your peace of mind is always their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We don't speak about
Speak
her.
about rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. A new landscape. Luke Fickell on Wilde and Tausch as spring ball concludes. The Badger head coach addressing constant changes in college football. His take on the challenge younger players face today.
This league has changed, and I think that means as a younger guy in a program, you don't have nearly as much time. You got to become a pro. You got to grow up. You got to mature really fast if you want to play. And if you don't, you got to look for some of these guys that have a lot more maturity walking in the door, because that's what you're going to play against every single week.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo at the Bridges. On Saturday, May 3rd, play in a 2- or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and a Mexican feast. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. $10 off women's Levi's Red Tab shorts, $39.99. And new Stryker fishing apparel, 20% off.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Mark Tauscher here for Prize Picks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 ticket sweepstakes, which could get you a +1, a VIP trip to the ship. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Nothing you could do, 'cause I'm stuck right glued to my guy. I'm sticking to my guy like a stamp to a letter, like birds of a feather. We stick together, I'm telling you from the start, I can't be torn apart.
That's the Merrywells with My Guy. You know what I learned the other day? Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. And I'll look it up in a minute when Matt gives his sleepers. But, Primetime Water Shine Behind the Glass, we're presented by Coors Light. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. You can chime in on our carbless poll question. You can chime in on the Cardinals Talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more on our Siding Unlimited poll question. I want to know, do you think Jordan Love has talked to Jaire Alexander since the end of the season? 67% of you say, or 68% of you say no. And that's without context. I did retweet with context that earlier in the show we played the audio a few times that Jordan Love says first, I haven't spoken to him in a while, and then just drops in the verbal diarrhea or the verbal tick of, that's my guy.
That's my guy right there.
Not your guy. But regardless, we're going to
my guy right there.
We're going to move on from that. I want to play a little game here. I will share the music info, the little trivia for you, a little teaser. I'll share that at the end of this. But it has to do with a famous artist and songs they sang backup on. It blew my mind, some of the songs that this artist sang backup on. But we're going to do a little segment here. Basically, Matt, you can give yours first. Basically, a sleeper in this draft. It doesn't even have to be for the Packers. Just a player that you love and then a player that you want no part of. Let's go.
That's right. I got to choose some of my favorite players.
What happened there?
I'm building this up again.
Did you just lag?
No, I was waiting for my spot in the song to enter.
Okay,
but you guys have totally thrown it now.
But you
could have just rolled with the punches, but you had to call me out.
It looked like you glitched.
I did. I was excited. I was trying to get into it on the beat.
Come on, Matt. Just tell us my guy.
Anyway,
that's my guy right there.
My guy this draft, Badger Hunter Wooler. High RAS score. Major production in college. He led the Big Ten in tackles this year. He was the first. He had the most tackles by a Badger DB since 1991, and he led the Big Ten DBs in tackles in 23. So he's a guy who's proven. His RAS score was 9.25, which I think I saw was like in the 90th percentile of players with those scores. So like, he's going to be a late pick. I think he's mocked for the 7th round, maybe the 6th round.
Somewhere in that day 3. I've seen as low as 7th. Yep.
I mean, but he's like 6'2". He's a big guy, big safety. Some player comps I got. Adrian Wilson for the Cardinals, 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro honors in the Cardinals Ring of Honor. And a little more recent one, his second comparison was Hitman Harry from the Vikings, Harrison Smith. Obviously, you would take a Harrison Smith right now, especially if you can get him in the 7th round. I think Hunter Wooler is going to be a steal for where he is being drafted.
And you're anti?
Now, my bust is that Shamar Stewart.
Okay.
Mostly because he doesn't have any production to, like, fall back on. Like, he's got the highest RAS score in the history of, like, RAS scores. So, like, athletically, the guy is a freak. And somebody thinking like Goody is going to jump for that high RAS score without the production and hope that they can develop him. But he had zero production essentially in college, underwhelming production in college. And my player comp for him, going way back to like the 90s, Brian Bosworth. A lot of hype about the Boz.
Yeah.
Kind of a dud.
Yes.
But that was also maybe a little due to steroids and other things. But
Mike Mamoulia would have been another good one from the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a guy that shot up the draft charts because he had a great combine. I don't know if the RAS score was there, but like he didn't do a lot in college, and he just shot up the draft board late before.
Right.
So,
or maybe even like a Lucas Van Ness.
Van Ness is another one. Rashawn Gary. Like these are guys that Goody
physically
does like.
You would think would be standouts in the NFL.
So Molly Brown, you were not on the show on Monday. We were talking about how like the combine is affectionately called, maybe detrimentally called, the Underwear Olympics. And so she called Shamar Stewart Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants.
So
okay.
I kind of hope he's a Packer because I love that nickname for him.
Yeah,
and I'd like to be able to call him Captain Underpants.
I want to let's go wait for Hunter Wooler. I want him on the Packers, though. It's not like I'll be happy for him wherever he goes if he gets drafted, but I want
him on the Bears.
I
think the Bears can use some depth at safety. But the guy I went with is Xavier Watts, a safety from Notre Dame. He is a... Here's what Matt Miller said about him. It's hard to find a player more productive at his position in 2025 than Watts. The 2023 Bronco Nagurski winner had 12 interceptions in his last 2 college seasons, only allowed 9 receptions in coverage in 2024 with no touchdowns against. Watt doesn't have amazing size or speed, but his instincts and agility are ideal for a starting free safety in the NFL. His comp is Jesse Bates from the Falcons, 6'2", 204, 42nd best player rated in this draft. Like, I think if you got him second or third round, steal. So I like him from Notre Dame. And then the player that I want no part of, I think everyone knows, is Cam Scatterbo. And I think he's a try-hard who used up all of his, he took a lot of beating in college. I think he's using up so much of his wear and tear in college. The high-end comps like David Montgomery, get out of here. Again, like, that guy is rare in the NFL. Like, that's not that Montgomery's elite, but like
durable.
A guy that can take all those hits and remain durable. The more likely comp to me is Royce Freeman. And Royce Freeman has a career 1,792 yards rushing and has 10 total touchdowns. He was a round 3 pick.
Do you think this guy could be productive in like year 1 and 2 and then just totally have his body like fall apart on him?
I don't know.
Or you just don't think he's got it at the next level?
I don't think he's got it at the next level. I think he's strong for college. I think he gets blown up and worn out real quick. Now, if he's your 5th, 6th round pick, fine. But I feel like some stupid team's going to fall in love with him because of his tape. Also, I don't love his personality. He seems very me. So, like, I think he pretends to be the team guy, but he's me. So, before we go to break, the little bit, you played an oldie song there. The singer Cher, who I believe is like 80 years old, who just performed at the SNL 50 and was insane. She performed the whole last song, did a good job with it. She sang backups on several Phil Spector songs. Do Run Run by the Crystals, Be My Baby by the Ronettes, You've Lost That Love and Feeling by the Righteous Brothers. Like, so she'd just be like a random background voice, like when she was a teenager. Like, talk about a musical career. Yeah. She's got her own hits, but like those songs, you might know. I think you would know Do Run Run and Be My Baby if you played them.
Do Run Run for sure.
Yeah, and then Be My Baby is like famously, I think, from like Dirty Dancing. Be my baby. Like, so she's singing background on that, and then You Lost It on Love and Feeling. Has had multiple runs. Right. All right, just a little music trivia for you today. We're going to play Molly's game next. The workout, the Underwear Olympics star, Shamar Stewart.
See, so what makes me excited about that is
Underwear Olympics?
Yes, Underwear Olympics. Actually, Captain Underpants is what I'm going to call him if they do end up getting him.
Perfect.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ron Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. This weekend, the Milwaukee Bucks start their run to, hopefully, not an early playoff round exit. Yes, the Milwaukee Bucks will be taking on the Indiana Pacers tomorrow. First game tips off at noon, and the Milwaukee Bucks will not have Damian Lillard for that one, but he could be back as soon as Game 2 after he was cleared of his deep vein thrombosis blood clotting issue earlier this week. Doctors told the Bucks officials that the speed of Lillard's recovery has never been seen before, but occurred because of early treatment. Dr. Nestor Rodriguez of Carbon World Health will be joining Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up here shortly. He'll share some more insights onto deep vein thrombosis and everything that you might want to wonder about Damian Lillard's health status. Make sure to listen to Game 1 against the Pacers this Saturday at noon right here on 100.5 ESPN. Then tonight, the Milwaukee Brewers are back at it. They're floating just above 500 after sealing a series against the Tigers to start this week. Start a 3-game homestand against the Athletics tonight. Brewers ace Freddie Peralta scheduled to start. Then we're less than 1 week away from round 1 of the NFL draft. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com to get all of your latest news.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Murr.
It's Murr.
I'm the founder, Mr.
Mr. David Deerfield says Naughty Molly rears her dirty mind once again. Let's go with Texas A&M edge Shamar Stewart, the workout, the Underwear Olympics star. Shamar Stewart.
See, so what makes me excited about that is
Underwear Olympics.
Yes, Underwear Olympics. Actually, Captain Underpants is what I'm going to call him if they do end up getting him.
Perfect.
That'd be perfect.
God, I want that pick now.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. We are presented by Coors Light. The Mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
That's Prime Time. Laura Sean Chrissy Birdsall has joined us in the studio as well. The Bruce Company, if you're looking to elevate your outdoor living space, the Bruce Company is Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles and colors, and made with durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. Many sets, from deep seating to dining, can be custom designed to your style. Find a time to swing by their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts. And we did, at the end of last segment, share a little bit of our sleepers. One person we like in the draft, one person we don't like in the draft. I don't like Cam Scatterbo. I do like Xavier Watts. You like Hunter Wohler, but you don't like Shamar Stewart.
Yep.
All right, Prime. Got to keep it tight, but like Matt likes his tight ends. You got to keep this your sleeper tight. Maybe there's a tight end that you're going to share. But who is your sleeper?
My sleeper tight. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep it that tight because, guys, there's one sleeper.
What is it? Is it super bad? Is it keep it tight? Keep it tight. What is
no, it's Weed is tight. Weed is tight.
But
I think that's from This Is the End.
This Is the End. Yeah,
yes,
that's right. Yeah,
the same cast of Superbad, but just at 40 instead of 22.
This Is the End is like basically like a documentary, but you just inserted the end of the world into it because otherwise it feels like you're hanging out with them.
Yeah, because it's super famous actors playing themselves.
Yeah,
great movie. But also, Kay Adams also asked Jordan Love sort of for his sleeper. Not in This Is the End.
Yeah,
she should have been. She would have been great.
She would have done a good job. Yeah,
she would have done a good job. But she's a great interviewer, and she also brought up to Jordan Love a possible sleeper for the Green Bay Packers in this draft.
So if you're not texting Goody, are you just like leaving DVDs of Jalen Royals around places, like in the training room, at his desk? Like, let's be honest, but come on now.
I think being from Utah State myself, having a receiver like Jalen Royal that, has came out, has made a name for himself, I think they've watched plenty of tape on him and probably already know that I would definitely take a fellow Aggie myself. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see where he ends up.
Goody, do the right thing. 4.3240. Let's go. School record, 15 touchdowns in 2023.
Well, you can guarantee
that's my guy right there.
You can guarantee
that's his guy right there. Come on.
That actually is his guy.
Come
on. You can guarantee that guy's not getting picked by the Packers.
Probably not.
Like, Goody's not going to spite not pick him.
It would be crazy if they did, because the connections between the Packers and him are pretty weird. Before going to Utah State, he played at Nevada and was like a one-year teammate with Romeo Doubs, I'm pretty sure. So if they ended up getting him
this
fourth
guy's
round,
lived a life at 22. Like, that's not that old to be like, how do you have all these connections? But
it's just weird connections to the Packers. And I will say, when they first drafted Jordan Love, they drafted remember Kamal Martin, the linebacker who they drafted in that draft? You shouldn't, because he lasted on the team for 2 years. But he was like a good friend and workout partner with Jordan Love coming out of the draft. And I believe Kamal Martin also was friends coming into the draft with A.J. Dillon.
I'm more of a fan of
I'm just saying, they actually do kind of do that, where they want players who have been together to try to bring them back together because they know they have a relationship.
I get that. I'm more of a fan of it to speak to teams that I know that the Packers might have. I don't think they did, but the Bears had who's the Khalil Mack.
Yes,
they brought his brother in like an undrafted free agent.
Who
was also played at
Thanasis.
Yeah, Thanasis sort of thing. The Bulls had a guy, Jack Haley, who Dennis Rodman enjoyed, just hanging out with, and was kind of like a Dennis Rodman wrangler. He was like the 12th man on your team, never dressed. Caleb Williams video at the Bulls game. John Jackson, some rando bad receiver from USC, is on their practice squad because he's best friends with Caleb.
I mean, we did.
I'd rather P squad guys for the let's be friends side of things.
What Jay Kumaro had a roster spot for a long time at the Packers.
Yeah, but I don't like the roster spots. I want the actual let's just give him P squad.
Well, I think Jalen Rose actually could be a good fill-in for Christian Watson.
I don't disagree with that, but it's a dangerous game he plays.
Yes, I know. If not him, there's another Mountain West? No, yeah, Mountain West receiver who I do like. That's Torrey Horton from Colorado State. If you watched any of the games where Colorado State played against Colorado over the past few years, he was the guy who was just tearing up Travis Hunter in a couple of those games.
Okay.
As you can tell, I go for the receivers who do really well against Travis Hunter in college. I feel
That's a good way to pick someone. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I think you might be worth your stuff a little bit if you can cook that guy.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN, the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download the app today for your chance at an all-inclusive private tailgate experience during the day 3 of the NFL Draft in Green Bay. Open up the ESPN Wisconsin app, check out the contest tab, and register for your chance to win. We can't even get up to this, so maybe we need to enter so we can get invited up to Green Bay. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Come on, Matt. You're the fantasy football guy.
I know, but like we're pretty far removed from fantasy last year.
And honestly, you're into tight ends. Like, I knew how that was going to sound before I said it, but I didn't mean it like.
Okay.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Outdoor Living Unlimited's showroom on Stoughton Road is absolutely a must-see. Nobody builds a better backyard better than Outdoor Living Unlimited. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, fire pit, and in-ground pool. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in building the new deck, Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. Looking for a backyard hardscape design? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing Madison showroom. Visit our open house on Saturday, April 19th from 9 to 1 p.m. and meet the team, or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, JOEQ. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. It is a Phish Friday. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio, and Chrissy Birdsall, Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you. Primetime Lorersheim on the other side of the glass, and I am just informed by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, who is a doctor. It's busy in the ER, so he will not be able to join us today, so we will actually punt on that segment. We'll get him next time, but just got a text back from Dr. Nestor Rodriguez that we will not be able to talk with him about Dame Lillard's return from deep vein thrombosis and what would have cleared him, why they did it, what to be watching out for. Maybe we can get him early next week as Dame makes his comeback there. But Carbon World Health, obviously run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. You can have hormone replacement treatments there. Make sure you have the right testosterone levels for you, not for your age. So make sure that can have a lot of effect on your mental health as well. If your hormones are out of whack, it definitely can throw you off a little bit there. Also, you have GLP-1s. You have cryotherapy. I did the cryotherapy today. I worked out earlier, and I had time. I left enough time for cryo, and that worked out fantastic. So,
I leave enough time for cryo. That's like 2 minutes.
I know, but a lot of time, a lot of times I'm pushing it right up because I got to take a shower too, and it's like, all right, I gotta be ready to go. So I was able to budget the time in for that one there at Carbon World Health. But now we're gonna play a little Molly's game.
Hi, I am looking for Molly. I've been searching everywhere and I can't seem to find Molly.
This is Molly's Game, hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly Brown.
Yeah, guys, and you might be wondering why we are playing Molly's Game on a day where we have no Molly. But as the big boy said, we are looking for Molly Brown, and just like when she was away on her maternity leave, when she was still up at the zoo, she still sent us today's Molly's Game lines. So guys, let's go ahead and see the video of what Molly presented us as today's lines in Molly's Game.
Hey, it's Ozzy Osbourne live from the zoo. Just kidding. It's just me, Molly. But I do feel like I look like Ozzy Osbourne in these sunglasses, so I'm a touch embarrassed. But anyways, for today's Molly's Game, we are going to go heavy in the Milwaukee Bucks' first game against the Pacers on Saturday. So first up, guys, I want to know over under 225 total points in that matchup.
All right. Did we ever keep track of how we do the week before?
Well, Molly does. That's the problem.
I feel like I did well last week on the over-under. I know I got Roy right for
you
the
got
Masters.
the points, too.
What's that?
And we picked a game, and I remember looking at it, and there was like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They were only like 7 points away.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over again, though. In the NBA, I'm always going to bet the over for the over-under.
Yeah,
right.
I'm taking the over as well.
All right.
I'm not going to be fooled again.
When were you fooled before?
Last week.
What happened last week? What did you not take?
I took the under. And I was wrong. There are 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they were like 4 or 6 points away from hitting the over-under with 9 minutes left.
Oh, is that the Bucks-Pistons game, first game last
First
weekend?
game, yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, well, the Pacers actually apparently are good defensively. I didn't realize that until I was reading about it a little bit more today.
They are good defensively, but the Bucks aren't.
No,
So,
they're
like,
terrible.
yeah,
The Bucks stink on defense, and I have no faith that they're going to stop Tyrese Halliburton.
No. It's not going to get better with Dame either.
No, definitely not. He's not bringing it on defense like that. I'll take the under just because maybe game one. I feel like the Pacers, I know they've been there. They were just in the East Conference Finals last year, but I can see it getting off to a slow start before both teams settling in and both teams starting to wear down a little later in the series, especially as Giannis hopefully starts to wear down the front line of the Pacers. But
instead of wearing down himself is my concern.
Well, there's no option where Giannis wears himself out in this series because if that happens, the Bucks lose very fast. So,
yeah.
Well, now that we're all feeling better, let's hear the second line from Molly Brown. Watch this one on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as she continues to give us the lines from up at the zoo.
And live from the other part of the zoo. Next one here, guys. Over under 40.5 total points and assists for Giannis Antetokounmpo in game one.
What was in there?
I think that was the baby, one of the either Luca or Olivia.
I love if you watch on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, every one of these videos feel like she's under duress. Like she's sneaking this video.
She's outnumbered at 3 versus 1 right now.
Yeah, the kids are holding her hostage.
Yeah, but the babies are in the stroller, so they're not going anywhere.
Contained.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll go over on
over?
that. Yeah.
Over 40.5 points, rebounds?
Yeah, I feel like he's going over 40.5 points.
Yeah, honestly, I think this should be a layup. Matt?
Yeah, it's the over. Right? Yesterday I said he was going to average better than his season average, and that was 30 points.
Yeah.
Or 34 this season. So he only needs to get a handful of assists to catch this number. This is a tap in.
Yeah, holding out hope that they're going to win this series. It's going to have to be Giannis putting up that stat line pretty much every game. So, yeah. I'll ride the over with you guys there. All right, guys. Last one from hostage Molly Brown up at the zoo.
And the last one here, guys, I want to know. Over under 45 total points, assists, and rebounds for Tyrese Halliburton.
I'm going over on that too. I don't know who's guarding him, so I think he'll be fine.
You just hope he has a bad game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, or the other players just don't step up.
I'm gonna take the under because I want the Bucks. I think the Bucks are gonna win in 6, and this first one I think is gonna be a pivotal one. Catch the Pacers off guard a little bit. Maybe Tyrese doesn't have his best game. Yeah, I'm gonna take the under just because it jives with my Bucks in 6.
We gonna win in 6.
I'll be honest, I gotta ride with Jim on this one. I don't see who's guarding him. Yeah, and it's as long as he's shooting well, I feel like it's gonna be an easy pickings for him. And especially does it feel like Tyrese Halliburton plays better against the Bucks? Or
yes,
because I mean he had the.
I just think they match up really well against
poorly.
them.
Also, I mean, he's from Wisconsin.
I think that's part of it. Yeah,
he wants to beat the hometown team. Not that the Bucks did anything wrong passing on him or not taking him, or I don't even know if they did actually pass on him.
He might not have even had a chance at him.
Yeah, he was like out of the lottery pick. I'm pretty sure too. I think he was the 19th overall pick.
But I'm saying that they didn't do anything wrong.
No,
so, yeah,
no, but it just seems like with the 4-point play at the end of the regular season this year, and then also remember when he had that floater to beat the Bucks? What was that in game? Was that game 3 or 4 of last round's playoff series? That was the crusher.
But if you're playing, and again, if you're just from Wisconsin, you're playing a team from Wisconsin, you want to show off against them, whether they did you wrong or not.
Doesn't Tyler Hero kind of stink against the Bucks though?
Well, he stinks.
Well,
he's just a one-trick pony. He can shoot.
True.
I'm not even positive he can read.
Ryan, he was
No, there's a video of Pat Riley hands him a book, and the way that Tyler looks at it, he looked at it in a way of like, I don't know what these words are, because he didn't acknowledge the book or whatever. Like, neat.
That is neat.
I haven't seen Tyler Hero string together more than like 8 words.
Fair. Matt, what were you saying?
Halliburton was the 12th overall pick.
He's the 12th. Yeah. Then
do you know who took him?
Yeah, Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there for a few years.
He was traded for Sabonis.
Yeah.
See, I had no idea. I thought he was a Pacer the whole time.
No.
Mr. NBA?
Mr. NBA, yeah.
Come on,
just
man.
wasn't paying attention to Tyrese Halliburton, I guess.
So 12th overall pick in what year?
2020.
2020. Oh, Bucks 2020 pick. I can't. Who knows if they had a 2020 pick? Then again, because they might have traded that all for. They probably would have given that up for Drew. Actually,
since we're talking Bucks here for a second before we go to break, can I throw out a random? This is on my personal Twitter poll question here, but I do want to ask you guys what you guys think about it. There's a little bit of breaking news. Former Badger Barry Alvarez's grandson Jake Ferguson got engaged to Miami Hurricanes basketball player Haley Cavender. So they announced their engagement there.
Cavenders win. Do you not know the Cavenders?
Not the way you do, apparently. Who are they?
They're very famous TikTok stars.
A lot of highlight videos or what?
Well, no, they're college basketball players. They played at Miami. They've both played at like 4 different schools.
Okay.
They're kind of like Haley Van Lith, where they've just bounced around for NIL money.
Oh, I thought she was an LSU player all the way through. No.
No, she was at Louisville before. I think she started at Florida State actually.
Okay. All right. So I had a sliding doors question, which I always enjoy. And I had this conversation with Brad from Ho Chunk at lunch the other day, and it was an interesting question. Would the Bucks be better off? Maybe I'm not allowed to ask this question. No, would the Bucks be better off? It would be in a better spot, if they didn't trade Drew Holiday.
Last one here, guys.
Or
I want
they didn't re-sign Chris Middleton in 2023.
To me, it's obvious. Having Drew on the team would have given you defense.
Yeah, but you had no offense then because Chris can't score.
Yeah, but Drew Holiday had his moments in offense. Like he wasn't known as an offensive guy.
But he couldn't get his own shot. And like in the playoffs, the reason why they got rid of him is that they ran into the playoffs that Middleton was too injured to get his own shot, and Drew is not a get his own shot consistently guy. So you had one guy in Giannis who's not really great at it either, outside of like driving to the basket.
I think we were better off with Holiday than re-signing.
65% of people said they would be better off if they didn't re-sign Chris. Because if you had Dame with more money to spend and more roster flexibility, you could have built a better roster. I agree with that.
That's true, but like we are still paying for the Drew trade.
Yeah, but the Chris Middleton, like it was it's got to be one of the worst signings in team history because it probably blew the whole thing up. He didn't do anything after they signed him, unfortunately.
I don't know. Plus, you made one of your biggest competitors in the East. Like, obviously, you didn't know for certain that he was going to the Celtics, but he ended up making one of your biggest competitions good enough to win the championship. So,
but again, you brought in Dame in that, and Dame's been great for the Milwaukee Bucks. They re-signed Chris Middleton after the 2022 season when he played 33 games. The following year, he played 55 games and scored 15 points. At his peak, when they won a title, he was averaging 20 to 21 points per game. So he already dropped 6 points per game. His minutes dropped dramatically, too, from 33 to 25. So he played, after re-signing him, he played 27 minutes a game for 55 games at 15 points. Then the following year, this year, he's played 37 games at 23 total minutes per game and 12 points per game. And they paid him $100-some million. Like, he wrecked their cap.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Like, he's a legend, but like re-signing him was one of the worst decisions in franchise history.
All right.
I mean, neither were great. I get what you're saying, but at least in the other one you had Dame out of it. This one you got Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, who's been a nice little piece. But I think he's
better.
overachieved
better than Middleton,
expectations when we got him.
Yeah, but
I think he's been better than we expected.
The better trade was getting, I think, Porter for what they got Porter for, because he's actually been pretty effective.
He's been pretty, but he was also the guy who they traded for, knowing that there was some off the court issues too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
they'll sold their soul a little bit for that, but anything to do to get out of the first round of the NBA playoffs and then lose. Got to sell this. Got to do it. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Judgmental Jim.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Who just Who was that?
That was Molly.
Okay.
Molly's a snorter, and she makes weird noises when she laughs.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Molly Brown here for Potawatomi. Hey, all you sports bettors, if you aren't making your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you're missing out on an elite experience. The state-of-the-art venue has dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for over 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, VIP deck, and a broadcast booth, which we're big fans of. In a major move for all sports bettors out there, you can now use your Potawatomi rewards card at most self-service kiosks and the betting counter. If that isn't enough for you, there's a giant video wall that's over 2,000 square feet. And if you're short on time, they have free 20-minute reserve structure parking. Bet on your favorite sports and earn rewards points along the way. Now that's a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and 4/30/2025. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. And Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, now with 25% more coverage per bag, just $59.99 after $10 rebate.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Jim Rutledge here, and I want to tell you about the Bruce Company, Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. They'll help you elevate your outdoor living space like they have for me. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles, colors, and durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. From deep seating to dining, pick your set and the Bruce Company will customize it to fit your style. Visit their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Tune in to the Here District with Marcus Johnson, a weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. And Bucks Plus audio production, Marcus and his son Chris Talk about Badger. Talk about Milwaukee Bucks basketball. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get podcasts. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar Studio. So it's prime time at Wollersheim, and it is a Phish Friday. That's why you're hearing all the Phish music today. And you haven't heard your song yet, though, right? Is that correct? Am I lighted up?
No, that's correct. Ryan has yet to play it for me.
I mean, do you need it right now?
No, you've got another break that you can bump back with it.
That was the plan.
Oh, I didn't ask for it.
I just wanted to make sure. Otherwise, it's going to be sad boy all
it's
weekend.
going to be all weekend. I'm going to be complaining that I didn't hear my song on the show. But Ryan, I trust Ryan had it queued up, ready to go.
I'm not saying he didn't.
Oh my gosh, brings a smile to my face.
Good, 'cause I can get my Phish jam on the last one.
Milwaukee.
This is kind of annoying, Ryan, because this is a new song about Hamilton, and if you were Mr. NBA or a Bucks fan,
I just became Mr. NBA.
He literally knows this because they played it on KBN today.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I think they still work it in regularly on Bucks games. Not, I mean, like as
Bucks games,
as nostalgia sort of nod.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I do think it's cool. I do think it's cool when teams have songs about themselves.
Yeah, and this one is fun for a team song. It's not bad. Big Dog, Ray Allen. I think Track the Trailer's in this. R.I.P.
Light it up, light it up.
Who's Tim Thomas?
Buck, former Buck.
Wow. Tim Thomas from Villanova. Actually, a player before his time, because I feel like in today's NBA, it'd be better. It's like a 6'10", skinny, muscular, but kind of skinny big, and played for the Bucks. I feel like a lottery pick. Talented player. Like, you take him on a team. He's a winning, talented player. I like Tim Thomas. A good dude. A lot of those guys, Ray Allen and Tim Thomas, both being part of them, used to come to the restaurant I worked at in Mequon. Damon's in Mequon. It was a sports bar, and I think they're all closed now. But they a lot of the players lived in Mequon. So I got to know some of those dudes, and that team specifically was one of my all-time favorites because my dad got tickets to a couple playoff games, and then I bartended at Damon's, and there was a guy that we knew that would sell us seats right behind the opposing team bench for bad like Sacramento, Chicago, like they were bad then, and so we could buy tickets for face value for that. And there was a couple other, but I saw
an elite uniforms.
That
by the
team,
Bucks,
yes, that team that went to the NBA or went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I probably saw no less than 20 of their games, including a handful of playoff games in person at the Bradley Center.
Who'd they end up losing to?
Philadelphia.
I knew it. I remember watching Allen Iverson tear us up. I thought it was AI, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, and who was Turner was his last name? Guy from Michigan State, point guard. I think maybe Eric Turner, but he was the point guard of that team. Just a nasty defender, hard to defend. Big Dog had a shot to make a game-winning. It wasn't a bunny because it was a hard shot, but he was close. I think he gathered it maybe on a rebound or whatever that would have maybe put him up 2-1 or stolen a game in Philadelphia, and he missed it. And then after that, it felt like it was over. I think they were maybe down 0-1. Started in Philadelphia, and they could have had it go 1-1 back to Milwaukee, which would have been huge.
Right.
And he missed it. But, I mean, not his fault. Tough one. Darvin Ham was on that team. Yeah. Bucks assistant. I love that team. Anyways.
Thanks for playing that, Ryan.
You're welcome. Good one. We got the history lesson from Matt Hamilton.
Sent me down memory lane.
Indeed.
All right, let's we go pole dancing.
Yeah.
All right.
We asked and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, time for me to clear my throat because it's time to go pole dancing here on Jim, Matt, and Molly, and that means we review the poll results from around ESPN Wisconsin. We look how the fans responded, and we chime in with our responses. So first one, guys, this morning on Jane, Gabe, and Chewy, they were obviously also getting into the personnel discussions that Jordan Love was having with Kay Adams. Their first poll question today: do you want players weighing in on personnel decisions? Yes, no, or 3, depends on the player. Matt Hamilton, what say you?
Depends on the player.
Depends on the player of who's weighing in or who they're weighing in about.
Who they're weighing in about.
So what's the depend?
Well, it's kind of like our chat about the Aaron Rodgers thing yesterday. Like, he's not going to give you a clear answer if he's analyzing his play, but if he's analyzing outside of it, he can give you an honest remark.
No, but this isn't just weighing in on talking about their game. This is the personnel decision, signing guys, trading guys, who's on the team.
I think it kind of depends on the player because, like, you can upset people with what you're saying about him and how you're talking about what you're going to do with him.
As in Josh Jacobs?
Yes.
So if he's not weighing in on guys on his own team, you're okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't upset your team. You got to call him your guy when you're trying to filibuster and think of nice things to say. That's just what good players do.
That's true. That's what a good leader does.
That's my guy right there.
Just a correction, Eric Snow. I don't know where Eric Turner came up. Eric Snow is the guy I'm talking about from Philadelphia. Eric Turner. It's Friday. I'm old. But then the other, to your question, I only want players inside of more of like, and I wouldn't want them to have a lot of weight to it. So I guess the answer will be no, but just like if the Packers asked Jeff Hafley, like, hey, what do you think about Ezraku as a person, as you work hard, like as a dude, I'll take the insight. Or if they ask Jordan Love, hey, you know player X personally.
Jalen Royals from Utah State.
I will take your insight into who they are as a person, work ethic, all of that, if you want to vouch from there. But that's all. It's just part of the scouting process.
So more like media or personality interviews.
Yeah, just like, are you vouching for this guy character-wise?
Okay.
Like if someone said, what do you think about Hamilton? I'm like, nah.
Big Bucks guy.
Yeah.
Big NBA guy, Matt Hamilton.
But like, Goody's need to do none of this because I don't think he even really asked LaFleur or Hafley what they think of things.
I'd be curious if he asked him about player. Like if he asked Hafley about Ezra. If he's not asking Hafley about Ezraku, he's not doing his job.
True, but like otherwise, like again, you hear these stories of GMs like, oh, my offensive coordinator likes players of this size, or like they want this for the offense, or defensive coordinator likes players of this size. I don't know how much Goody really cares.
I think the players Goody wants, like talking about measurements and like physiques, like archetypes, fits what Matt LaFleur wants, but he would never ask like, do you want this player or that player?
Do you think LaFleur has earned the right to be like, not player, but like let's say they're not fully aligned, but LaFleur says, or even if it's a player, second, third round, where LaFleur's like, I need this guy. If he's there.
I think he did, and he messed up.
Who? Oh,
Josiah DeGuara.
This is a fourth rounder.
I know.
Goody screws up all the time.
He's a third rounder.
Goody screws up all the time. He still gets a pick.
Maybe all those third round picks
also,
for Matt LaFleur decisions.
Also, if I'm Matt LaFleur, like, look, man, the guy blew out his ACL year one. Can we at least maybe allow for that could have had a major impact into it?
That stunk, yeah. All right, fair enough. All right, well, guys, moving on. Kyle Brust and Nortman on Wednesday. They were looking ahead to the Bucks' playoff chances, and they asked if Giannis Antetokounmpo wins a second championship, do you think it will be with the Milwaukee Bucks? 56% of fans said yes. 44% said no elsewhere. Jim Rutledge, what do you think? I mean,
he is not winning.
He
is not winning another title.
I don't know why I asked Jim first. Matt, what do you say?
Yeah, this is the year. Dame's going to come back. Dame's going to light it up. Both of them are going to average like 30 points a game in the postseason.
You can't drink on the air anymore.
Matt. The curse is lifted. The playoff curse is lifted for the Bucks.
I'm drunk off Bucks optimism.
But why?
Because I want it.
Because he's Matt Hamilton.
Because I'm feeling it.
Like, I hope you're right, but like, optimism to me, you have to have a reason for it.
Giannis. Reasons 1 through 5. We can win a championship is because this is the best shape Giannis has been in going into the playoffs since our championship win.
But
he's been injured every time after that.
Even if we want to call Giannis the best player in the East, the gap, which I don't know if he is, Tatum could be, the gap between Giannis and the best players, whether it's Tatum or Mitchell and others, is way tighter than it used to be, and those other teams are deeper and better.
It is, but nobody in this league can stop Giannis getting into the paint and scoring points.
I mean, yeah, they have. Not one singular person, but they just... When you play a team like the Bucks and Giannis...
but that's what I'm saying. Dame being back is going to be that outlet for him.
We can't say he's back yet. We're not sure if he's coming back. It's still in the air.
That's kind of what I'm banking on with this confidence that they're going to win it this year.
It doesn't make Giannis... It gives Giannis a break, but teams in the playoffs, they crowd the post, and then Giannis does... It's harder for him to score. And that's why you needed Middleton to be the other scorer, and then obviously Drew is a third scorer. Maybe Dame's a second scorer. They don't got a third one.
I think Giannis is the reason why I give them a chance in this Pacers series, but beyond that is where I'm just
absolutely.
Pacers
he gives you a chance in every series he's on your team, starting and healthy.
I wouldn't feel great against the Cavs.
Or the Celtics.
Or the Celtics. Yeah, any of the next two teams that they almost definitely would play. Yeah, I wouldn't feel great.
All right, fine.
Optimism. I have optimism that they can win against the Pacers. If they beat the Pacers, I'll feel better.
So what are you voting? No?
I would have to say no. If I'm being rational, yes.
Do we have another poll?
Okay, we have one more because, guys, keeping it with the Packers in the draft coming to Green Bay next week. The Homer Hour on Tuesday asks, given the Packers' history of taking wide receivers in the NFL draft, isn't it better they wait to take a receiver in the second round? Yes, draft a receiver in the second round, 56% of response. No, draft a wide receiver in the first round, 44% of responses. Matt Hamilton, you're the green and gold homer. What do you say?
I'm fine with them going back in history and talking about the Packers first round wide receiver. They've only done it 4 times in the history of the Packers. 2 of them are Hall of Famers, mind you. I really think that
who are the 2 Hall of Famers?
Sharp for sure, and then I don't know, Paul Hornung or something.
Paul Hornung wasn't a receiver. James Lofton?
James Lofton.
Okay.
But he was not a Hall of Famer with the Packers.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, but he had a great career in multiple other places that put him in the Hall of Fame.
He's still a Hall
I think
of Famer.
of Buffalo Bills, but yeah.
So I'm just saying they've only done it 4 times. There's plenty of other teams that go ahead and get a wide receiver in the first round, and they're great. And especially given the last couple years, rookie wide receivers have been feasting more than ever. I have 0 qualms with the Packers going first-round wide receiver. I don't think that's their biggest position of need, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a wide receiver in the first round. I'm not going to be upset by that, and it would be helpful.
Well, it's not asking if you'd be upset by it. It's what do you think is a better option for them?
I mean, Goody hasn't been an absolute stud in the first round, so maybe step outside your comfort zone and try something new.
Okay.
Right? So, he obviously can pick guys. He knows where the value is, in the middle rounds. That's where Goody has been his best. Go ahead and step outside your comfort zone. Do something different in the first round because what you're doing hasn't been an all-star moves.
All right. Jim?
And I will say this for a case for the first round. In 2020.
That was a crazy draft.
Right, but 17th overall, which is not that far from where the Packers picked, CeeDee Lamb. 21st overall, Jalen Reagor.
Big bust.
Right, yeah. But then number 22, Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Number 25, Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
And then the first pick in the second round, T. Higgins. And the second pick in the second round, Michael Pittman. Which were essentially first-round picks.
Weren't some of the early picks in that draft really good, too? Wide receiver picks?
Jerry Jeudy. Henry Ruggs, not so much.
Jerry Jeudy also, he's a third-string receiver now.
Right, but you would have taken
at the time, he was seen as the best receiver.
But I wanted to look
class.
specifically in that window. I'm fine with the second-round pick. But if you want a true legit star, I know there's Devontae. But Devontae took time as well. The guys who come in and are, much like cornerback, there's so much athleticism and numbers and such a plethora of receivers that you can get a dude in the first round and be Jackson Smith-Njigba. Number 20. 23, the Packers pick. That was a first-round pick. So you can get these dudes. Last year's first-round picks: Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas. How did he do?
Yeah,
Xavier Worthy.
He was good.
Xavier Worthy was effective for the Chiefs. And then Ricky Pearsall. I mean, he got shot, but he still finished.
The fact that he played. Yeah, talk about dog.
Yeah. He came back and played the Pack. Oh, look at this one, Vikings. Their 23rd overall pick in the first round in 2023. Jordan Addison, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Take that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to go first round.
That's fair. You can get, A.J. Brown was a second-round pick. DK Metcalf was a second-round pick.
I'm not saying you can't get guys there.
It's rare.
We're just saying, especially as of late,
Drake
there's been
London,
some
Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams. Those were the four out of the top 5 picks in the first round. And when they picked Christian Watson, they could add one of those guys.
Yeah, you can get those guys that are next level, they're going to be your number 1 in the first
Justin
round.
Jefferson at number 22.
Yeah.
Or Ayuk at 25.
There is still the rumor, or there's still the belief that the Packers, when they traded up, they were trying to trade up for Justin Jefferson. That was reported at the time. It's not sure if it was ever been proven. But
2018, number 24 overall, DJ Moore, and then number 26 overall, Calvin Ridley.
True.
First rounders.
Yeah.
So even where they're picking in the first round, you can get dogs.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Would you want to bet on Calvin Ridley?
Wow.
Yeah. All right, this is Jim Matt Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You can take the boy out of North Carolina, but you can't take the North Carolina out of the boy. I like me some Bulldogs up here on the Packers.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Back-to-back wins against the Pistons over the weekend for the Bucks, and they end their regular season on an 8-game winning streak, undefeated in the regular season in the month of April. Here's head coach Doc Rivers on improvements.
Yeah, just offensive execution. There's times we have these dead periods in the game that you can't afford to have in the playoffs. Transition defense is probably the number one key. Corner threes, I guess, and then rebounding. That would be it.
Bucks and Pacers will get their first-round series going in Indianapolis. That one tips off at noon on Saturday.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Get a sneak peek at the 2025 Wisconsin football team. Join us April 19th for Wisconsin Football Spring Showcase presented by UW Credit Union. The day kicks off with the Coles Kids Combine, followed by Badgers Open Practice at noon, featuring new faces like quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. and offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. After practice, head to the field for photos with Badgers student athletes. Tickets are $5 and free for football season ticket holders, UW students, and kids under 12. Claim your tickets for the Wisconsin Football Spring Showcase at uwbadgers.com.
It's time for spring savings at Metro Kia Madison this month. Drive away in the 2025 Kia K4 with financing as low as 2.9% for 48 months, $22.09 cost per thousand borrowed. Or you can upgrade to the luxurious 2025 Kia Sportage with rates as low as 1.9% for 60 months, $17.48 cost per thousand. Hurry, these offers end April 30th. Head to Metro Kia Madison or visit metrokiamadison.com today.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze.
Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's custom jeweler, Madison's family-owned jeweler. Chalmers Jewelers, whether it's engagement rings, custom jewelry, watches, all of that. Check out Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Chrissy Birdsall, Matt Hamilton, Primetime Morsheim behind the glass. Prime, what are you doing this weekend for Easter?
Not seeing my parents, unfortunately. I made the common mistake of just forgetting when Easter is every year.
Yeah.
I bought tickets to go see a comedy show at the Alliant Energy Center on Saturday night. So
anyone we know?
Tom Segura.
Okay. Yeah.
Really famous, really funny comedian. I have my 2 friends from college are coming in for the show with me. One of them has actually got to and stayed at my place last night. He slept on my couch, so I'll be putting him up all weekend.
Nice.
And then other
and
buddies
putting up
coming
with
in
him all weekend.
Yes, exactly.
Matt?
This is going to sound weird. I'm going to the curling version of the Combine this weekend. Yeah, so
That is neat.
Remember the pacer test from high school?
Yes.
I'll be running the pacer test tomorrow. A broad jump, high jump, push-ups in 45 seconds, sit-ups in 45 seconds. Yeah, I've got to go through the motions and do all that stuff.
Jim, what about you?
I am going to take my kids. The Easter Bunny hides a lot of eggs down in Orangeville, Illinois. So we'll go down there. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by... I wanted to get to Chrissy, but Matt was just talking and talking. It's been Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
See ya. I'm a nut.